Hey, welcome to the channel. It's all about blues harmonicas. If you haven't already, thumbs up and subscribe. Today I'm going to talk to you about improvisation. I've talked about it before in general terms. If you're somebody starting out or somebody's been playing an awful while, if you want to be a blues player, then you're going to have to learn to improvise. And of course, I've been a jazz player for most of my life on other instruments. So as a saxophonist and many other instruments, multi-instrumentalist. So of course, it's an integral part, it's a part of your fabric of playing. So as a blues player you have to improvise, because it's kind of the whole thing really. And not just take from other people and regurgitate. Excuse me. So, and you'll see the way I've top and tailed this video, that I'm using one idea. I often do this, use one idea. I don't throw loads of skills out, I'll just throw an idea out and just work off that. Good, bad or indifferent, that's what we do, because that's the truth in music, isn't it? From where I come from, it seems very strange that people would play music at all if they didn't improvise. Probably why I enjoy Bach, Beethoven, those sort of characters. I enjoy their writing and the sort of conductor aspect of it. I'm not sort of keen on being a cog in a wheel. It's all great for some people, but it's that's the kind of thing I'm looking at. I like the idea of the whole thing. So when an individual plays and they improvise, of course it's all down to your individual freedom of expression. And in blues it's kind of, you ain't going to get much deeper than that, from that sort of core, from that sort of central point that everything sort of comes out on. And you'll notice, you'll hear things, you hear people online, so this sort of thing. Okay. I even had to little improvise at the end. I was just trying to play a line coming down. Patterns and things like that. Well, that's all very well, but you shouldn't really have to hear the pattern in it. I mean, if we're looking at sort of like a jazz thing like Coltrane, it's designed in a completely different way with complex and different harmonies. It's something completely different. But in the blues sense, you really don't want to be hearing that kind of line, only if there's something in it that's different as it's been moved up and down. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to be hearing, you'll get people, because it's very, very easy for people to spend all their life playing on patterns and then throwing it over blues and telling you that that somehow is improvisation. Well, yes, it is to a point, because they keep switching around. Oh, I think I'll start on this note, or I think I'll start on that note. But after a while you realise how sort of stagnated it is, and they play as if, as I've said on other videos before, as if the rhythm section don't exist, you know. So, for the people starting out, if you're with a coach, a good coach, they will have introduced this to you as soon as you can, day one really, as soon as you can do this. As soon as you can learn to do that, okay, then we would be introducing improvisation. Because the sooner you start incorporating it, the better. And you have to free the mind up into even messing with just those notes, alright? Even in a major key with no bends or anything. Still has to be practiced, still has to be played around with. I don't like this word practice, I don't think you should use it. You're playing, you play around with the notes, that's what you do. It's very important. Some people find it a lot harder than others. From outset, if you get with a good coach, they'll get you doing this early doors, and you should be doing it all the time. All the time, okay? So you'll listen to the way I've top and tailed those, I can't remember which ones I did, maybe I did. That was one of them, I can't remember what the other one was now. Anyway, but if you look on there, that I'm using that kind of figure, and then I'm using like a half line to kind of disguise and just bounce off it. It's very simple what I'm doing, but it just means that if I do 100 takes of it, it'll be different 100 times. Okay? I've just done, I think, 1 take of each there. I'll probably just click the camera, did 2 takes, then just pick that and then put it on. But if I put them all in a row, you'd find that they're all different. And that's the actual trick in this. And the problem that happens with a lot of musicians is that you'll go, particularly on blues harmonic, I've seen it all the time, you go taking licks and phrases, and people give you this phrase and that phrase and this lick and that lick. And so that tends to get stuck in, and then the improvisation starts to get harder and harder and harder. It's important to emulate, yes, it's important to do that, but you have to break from that to come up with your own way of doing it. It's so vitally important, otherwise the music doesn't move forward. Okay? A lot of coaches do not emphasize this online on the YouTube. They do not push that idea. And it's the only way that the harmonica or any instrumentation is going to move forward into new movements. If you're starting out, you think, oh, God, it sounds like he's going on. It's actually fairly easy if you get with the right person, just to show you how to go about it. Then it becomes a game within just a very basic scale that you have, all right? And you're not being told what to do. In a classical orchestra, the interest comes from the conductor, because he's telling them all. I once saw a masterclass on Titelia doing the cello masterclass, and in this particular class he's educating these other students on how to interpret certain things. Well, the beautiful thing about jazz, and in this case blues, is that the whole interpretation is down to the individual. We decide where to hold a note, how to hold a note, where to take it, how to drag it, what to do with it. Okay? And 70 to 80 to 90% of that has to come from you, with the other 10% taking from your influences. Probably more, actually, yeah. But at the same time, it has to be the freedom of your expression. True, you've got to listen to the people around you, but that's very important. Now, if you look at what I've done on this one, I've actually utilised a slight line at one point, and then just farmed that as an idea just for the chorus or the lick. So it's one very simple idea. Okay, anybody can kind of do it, but it's just the fact that you can do it on lots and lots of different takes. So if you get anything from this today, if you've got a major scale down, or even if you've got this, a blues scale, once you've learnt to do that or something, once you've got that, then play around with it. Play around with it. Yet start listening to all these people, but play around with it. And that's what you need to do. You need to be playing with that scale on your own a lot. Move it around. Don't wait to hear things to give you that inspiration. Don't wait for that. Do it anyway. Even if you haven't got your vocabulary down, you haven't got your phrasing together, don't worry about it. Start moving it and record yourself doing it and listen to it. Okay? And do lots of that, even if you're only on your very first scale. And that will facilitate you in the future no end. And if your coach isn't doing this with you at this point, then they should be. Because you need to be doing it, and you need to be doing it all the time. All the time. as much as you're practicing everything else. Alright? Okay, so there's my tips for today. Thumbs up and subscribe. As I said, I've got another channel just trying to get people into modern jazz, just throwing a few albums out called Modern Jazz Discovery. You can have a quick look at that. Nothing to do with this, of course, might not be your interest, but you might go and have a look through curiosity. Got some podcasts out, all different things, a lot on blues harmonica. Just done the latest one with RJ, that's really good. And we're also looking at some other guitar player, I think, as well. That's good. So, and as always with these things, I'll catch you on the rebound.